friendlies, I'm Carolyn, and welcome to my life living in an RV and a YouTube creator. One of the questions I've been asked so many times over the last almost 5 years is about my camera gear. You guys want to know what cameras I use, what computers I use, what editing software I use. I'm going to go through all of my camera gear, everything I use for my YouTube channel today. And I'm also going to tell you about a new way I have that's super exciting and compact to charge everything faster in my RV. No more of these. Hello to this, and we're gonna talk about that first.
There ain't nobody gonna do it for you. Got to find your own.
So many of you know, if you recently saw my new inverter video, that this has been what I have been using as my power hub, pretty much for everything I need to charge in my RV. And this power strip has always been problematic. Look at this. So I've got two big bulky things plugged in. I want to charge this at the same time, and look it, I can't get it in. I can't get it in. This also doesn't have a USB port, so I have to plug one of these in, and it's got 5 or 6 outlets on it, but they're unusable for most things, battery chargers and things that I have to plug in. So I was super excited to get the N-Ton power strip. Not only is it a lot more compact than this, I mean, look at the difference in size. It's got a USB and it's got a mini USB or a micro USB. So I don't have to deal with one of these if I want to charge something by USB. And check this out. Voila. Voila. And voila. 3 bulky items I can charge at the same time, and a USB, which I could never do on the other one. So not only is this more compact, it's got a really long extension cord, so I can plug it into my inverter, and I have so many more options. I think the cord on this is twice as long. So not only that, it charges things faster than you get in a traditional power strip. So not only is that convenient because you're charging your stuff faster, but it's convenient if you're living on solar power. You know, if you're rationing your power, or you might just be charging off a portable battery or a generator, if you can charge things faster, that's a really, really good thing. You don't have to leave things plugged in as long, so if you are using a generator, you don't have to run it as long. If you're plugged in just for a short period of time, you can charge everything up faster. So it's a really cool option for RV life. It's the N-Ton power strip with 3 outlets, 2 USB ports, and a total of 18 watt output. So it's super fast. So with the 5-foot cord and being able to plug in 3 bulky things and 2 USBs for super fast charging, it's only $28.99. And for the next 7 days, when you purchase this using the link below, I'll put a link in the video description. I'll also pin a comment with the link. You get 30% off when you use discount code SADIE12. Okay, use discount code SADIE12, and you can get this too. I love it because it's compact, so it's not nearly as bulky as what I have been using. So I can just pack this up if I need to. If I'm going to go stay in a hotel, I can just pack it up, and it's lightweight. It comes with different options for installation. It comes with some stickies, so you can just adhere it wherever you want, whatever is going to be convenient for you. It also comes with screws, so if you want to hang it on a wall using screws, you can do that. So yeah, I'm really excited about this power strip. Is guaranteed to not surge, so it's going to be a really good addition to my RV life and my YouTube life. So let's get started on my camera gear. I have a lot of camera gear. Really, still my favorite camera is the one that I've been using the longest. I've had this for probably about as long as I've had the laptop. This is my Sony Handycam. Great camera, takes really good quality video and pictures, but it's kind of bulky. I have this hand thing, which makes it really nice for carrying it around, and I really like using it. The only problem is for vlogging, it's really heavy. You guys might remember in the beginning, a lot of you would see me doing videos, selfie videos, and you'd be like, are you limping? Because I would have this on a monopod and it would have to rest on my hip because it's kind of heavy for me to just hold up for long periods of time. So I would rest it on my hip, and when I was walking, it looked like I was limping. So this is a really, really good camera, really good video stabilization, so not a lot of shaking and wobbling, but it's great. If you're going to hold it like this, it's great. It's still my favorite camera. But for vlogging like this, it's not very convenient. So I recently upgraded to a vlogging camera. Oh, I'm using it. All right. So I'm going to have to shoot pictures of that. So I've recently switched to my vlogging camera, which you can't see because it's what I'm shooting on right now. It's the Sony ZV-1, and it was made for vlogging. And I bought this accessory with it. This is kind of nice. You can use it as a little tripod, but you can also just use it as a handheld vlogger thing. And I like it, and the reason I bought it is because I can mount it on this, and I can carry this around, and I can start the movie, end the movie, and take a picture. It's Bluetooth operated, so I can do everything from here, unlike using a Joby. You know, if I have it screwed onto a Joby, I actually have to go to the camera to film, to shoot, to do video or whatever, and I can do all that right from here on this. So it's a Sony ZV-1. I'm having some learning curve issues, I guess, with it. The video stabilization honestly does not seem to be as good as it is with this, and it's perfect for vlogging. It's good for like close-up vlogging. The stabilization seems to be pretty good for that, but for longer videos, for shooting scenery, I'm not really as happy with the quality for shooting scenery. I do shoot in like 1280 or 19. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not great at. I want something that's easy, that I don't have to think about a lot. I don't have the patience. I'm not much of a planner. I'm not one who's going to sit there and go, okay, I'm going to go shoot a video now and want to mess with my camera for a half hour to figure out what the best settings are for my environment. So I pretty much use the auto settings on it, and I do shoot at a pretty high, I think I shoot at 30 or 60 frame rate. I also shoot at higher resolution, but I still don't feel like I get the quality of scenery pictures that I get with the Handycam. But I do like it because it's lightweight, it's small, I can carry it around, it's not as conspicuous and heavy as this. So I'm still kind of learning it, but I seem to like the camera, I would say. So those are my two main cameras that I'm using right now. I also have two GoPros. So I've got the original, this is my original GoPro Hero5. This is the first GoPro I ever bought, and then I upgraded to the Black 7 for the Pacific Crest Trail. I bought this GoPro specifically for my hike on the Pacific Crest Trail. If you guys haven't seen those videos, check them out. I shot everything on the trail with this. And I also bought my Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus just for my PCT hike. I had a Samsung that was like a 7 or something. It was fine, but I didn't want to have to carry an extra camera on the Pacific Crest Trail because it's all about the weight, everything you're carrying on your back. And I was already carrying a phone anyway, so I figured why not get the best camera phone I can. So I got the Samsung Galaxy S10 Plus, or whatever it is. They got the newer one out now. I'm not going to buy it. And honestly, I shoot more than half my video probably with that. It doesn't have the far away quality that even the Sony has, but it does okay. And it's nice for vlogging too. It's got pretty good image stabilization if I remember to turn it on. Sometimes I turn it off because you can't zoom in and you can't do things when the image stabilization is on, so I'll turn it off, and sometimes I forget to turn it back on, and that's kind of a pain in the butt. But I shoot a lot on my phone. But this one is, where's the other one? So now I have two, and I use these like to mount to my windshield for driving footage, although I don't do that as much anymore. If anybody is just starting out on YouTube and you're thinking about it, it's a lot of editing to put this in there and then turn it on and turn it off and then add this to the editing. It's a lot of extra work for editing when frankly I can just hold up my cell phone and shoot what I want to shoot, and then all my pictures are together on one device. It's really a lot easier. But this will be good, and this one, there's something wrong with the battery. It doesn't quite work like it's supposed to anymore. I might eventually mount this to the dashboard for Sadie. But this is perfect for hiking. It's got really good image stabilization. I mostly use it now for time lapses. I can set it outside. The battery life is pretty good, so I can set it outside, and get a time lapse. It's small. I don't have to worry, about it as much as like I do my main camera. So I can also mount it, in small places, so that's kind of nice. Oh, the other thing about the Sony ZV-1, the battery life sucks. The battery life on it is really bad. It doesn't last long at all. So you have to make sure you have extra batteries and have them charged. So that's my camera gear, my main camera. Oh, and my drone. I do have a drone. This is the one I've had. A patron bought my first drone for me, like when I first joined Patron. Hi. And this is the one I've used, the Phantom Standard. This is the one I've used. I'm grounded at the moment because a new law was passed that you have to have a license. You have to go and take a test. It's like a beginner's pilot aviation knowledge test. I went ahead and got registered. I started looking at how to go ahead and take the test, and I know you guys really enjoy your drone footage, so I'm looking into getting the license and getting everything I need so that I can fly the drone again. Because right now, if you're using a drone for commercial use, only commercial use, you don't need all this if you're just flying it for personal use. But if you're using it on YouTube and you're putting ads on your videos, apparently that's commercial use. And apparently I could get in a lot of trouble. YouTubers have been getting fined. So once I learned that, I stopped using it. We're grounded. We might go ahead and get licensed and everything, though, so that I can start using that again. All right. So that's my camera gear. Let's talk sound. Sound has been one of those things that I have really, really struggled with. Trying to find something that doesn't sound tinny or doesn't have interference. Even the one I'm using, sometimes in editing, or most of the time in editing, I have to go in and I have to do audio correction because I get a low buzz in it no matter what I do. And I'll show you I'll put links in because I don't know right now off the top of my head what it is. But it was the microphone, the shoe microphone, the external microphone that they recommended. So I bought it all as a bundle. I bought the microphone and I bought this at the same time that I bought the camera. But other than that low-level noise that I often have to edit out in editing, it's a really, really good microphone. The windsock on it is excellent. I can videotape in the worst wind and you don't hear the wind interference. So I think of all the microphones I have had, I think that one might be the best one I've had so far. I bought this with my old camera. It's a lavalier, so I can wear it on my lapel. It's got two lavaliers, so if you're sitting down having a conversation, and it is wireless. It's got a wireless receiver. These things, for me, are so problematic. If one element, there's 2 or 3 different moving parts to this. If one thing is out of sync, if a battery is too weak, if it's not plugged in right, or if there's interference at all, if my hair is hitting it, the whole video is ruined. And I can't tell you how many times I've had to reshoot videos using a lavalier mic. So this I don't use very often at all anymore. Literally, I don't know, a dozen times I've done 10, 20-minute videos only to find out there's no sound at all, or my hair is hitting it and it's super annoying, or my shirt's rubbing up against it and I have to reshoot. And yes, see, I am not like I said, I don't like to plan that much. And it takes a lot of planning, making sure all the batteries are charged, making sure everything is plugged in right, and doing checks and double checks. I mean, by the time I do all the setup for stuff like this, I'm too tired to shoot a video. This is a downfall of doing everything yourself. It really is. It just gets to be very labor intensive, very laborious. And so oftentimes I just settle for what's easy and convenient. You guys have been patient with me. So it's not bad. Again, though, this has a little bit of a noise in the background that sometimes I have to edit out. So this hasn't been that great either. I have this that I bought. This is a Rode microphone. I bought this again for the old camera, and it's got the windsock on it, and it's a shoe. You can just put it in. And this one, okay, you know what's wrong with this one? That. So it's awesome. You can put it on your camera, and it's got flexibility, but literally if the wind comes along and moves that, you can hear it. So I don't know who designed this. I don't know, maybe no matter how tight it is on there, if this moves, look at that. You can actually hear that. That makes a noise. And it can be really annoying. You know, I try to not make videos annoying for you guys. And sometimes it takes a lot of steps, a lot in editing, a lot in setup, making sure everything is set up correctly, reshooting stuff if I have to reshoot it. So that was the problem with this microphone. So I don't even know why they give you something that bounces around. I'm sure there's a good reason for that. But see, you've got holes here to let sound in, probably three-dimensional sound, but it picks up this moving, even with the windsock on. I have another one. That's another microphone. I don't even know. That plugs into something. So that's an older one. Oh, and there we go. There we go. So that's an old microphone. I think I tried to get this. I wanted something that would plug directly into my phone. I think that's what I tried this for. Plug it directly into my phone and have a windsock on my phone so that you guys don't hear wind on the phone, which is always a challenge since I do so much shooting on the phone. And again, getting organized, having all this stuff handy when I'm jumping out of the rig to film something. Yeah. Let me see what else. I think that's it for microphones. Oh no, one more microphone. So this is my plug-in microphone that I use mostly for voiceovers. So sometimes I'll plug it in and use it for live streams because the sound on my Alienware is really bad. So I have this now. It's a toner microphone. Fancy schmancy. It's supposed to be really good. It's not that great. I don't know if it's my Alienware. We'll talk about that in a minute. I look forward to trying it out on my new Mac. But it plugs into your computer by USB, so it's an external mic for your computer. And like I said, I usually use this for voiceovers. When you hear me doing voiceovers, or lately I've been doing the green screen voiceovers. Actually, the green screen ones, I don't use this because I'm outside shooting that with a camera. But yeah, if I'm doing voiceovers, it's usually done on this. I know, right? You guys, yeah. There's a lot behind the scenes that goes into making videos. Yeah. All right. So these things, what is this? I've got several of them. These are the Joby flexible tripods, and they're great. I don't know why I have so many, to be honest with you. Some of them are better for like this heavy camera. I think this one is too flexible. It won't hold the heavy camera, so I had to buy another one, heavier duty, to hold a heavier camera. And these are great though, because for one thing, I actually prefer these even over this. Even though this has the convenience of starting and stopping video, it's not that big of a deal to pull it in and hit record. But I like this because, number one, it's a bigger tripod. See, this is a tripod, but it's tiny, so I'm really limited when I'm out and about and what I can record. If I want to set this down and use it as a tripod, it's not very high. This one is like twice the size. So sometimes you'll see me, like if I'm going on a hike or if I'm on a walk, this is usually what I'm carrying. And it's got this handy dandy attachment here. You see that? For my cell phone. Look at that. So that I can just attach my cell phone. If I'm going out on a hike, this is usually my go-to. It's the easiest thing to grab. If I'm just going out on a day hike, I grab this, grab my cell phone, and I can do this. You know, I can use it to talk while I'm hiking. I can set it down in the grass, and I can move this up and down or sideways so that I can get those pictures of me walking away or walking on a path, or put it up in a tree and get an overhead. And then of course I have to walk back and get it. A lot of you ask me, how do you do that with only one person? This is how I do it. I set it down on a tripod, hit record, and walk away, get the shot I want, come back and get it. And so the Jobies are really good. And with the flexible thing, they can grab onto branches, they can grab onto my mirror, you can wrap them around anything you want, so you can get some really cool shots, and it's really easy to get the shot that you want with something this flexible. Literally this flexible. I have an itty bitty one for the GoPro. Alright, I've got another mount. So this is the mount for my windshield. It took some finagling. I just got my windshield replaced a few months ago, and I haven't put it back up yet because, like I said, I don't really use it that much because using the GoPro on the windshield is a lot of extra editing. So, but this is the mount for the windshield, and I know this only has the single bar mount, but I haven't had any problems with shaking. Some people like the double bar mount better for more stability. It's got 2 bars coming out and it all connects over here, so it stabilizes it more, but I haven't had any problems with this. So the suction just adheres to the windshield, and it's got tons of different things here for moving it, positioning it the way you want to position it. I've got monopods that are put away, but this is one monopod. This is a telescoping monopod. Look at that. So that's also convenient if you want to just carry something like that in your backpack for a monopod. But this one does not have, some of them have a tripod on the bottom so that you can set it up like a tripod. This one does not, so I don't even know why I still have it. It's kind of useless. But this is nice if you want an extension for your selfies, for your vlogging, and that's what I used to do, and I might go back to that because right now I notice, you know, I can only go so far. I have short arms. This you can go a lot further out because it telescopes, I don't know, a couple feet, so you can go further out and film yourself if you want. So these are really nice telescoping monopods, and if you can get one with the tripod on the bottom, even better, so that you can get double, triple duty out of it by setting it down if you want to set it down and shoot yourself walking away. Another mount for something. I gotta tell you, another mount for something. This is another cell phone mount. I have baskets and baskets full of batteries and chargers and accessories for the GoPro and accessories for the camera. And oh, here's another. I think this is the wind sock microphone that came with the Sony that I'm using, and it's okay, but the one I have on it now is really much better sound than the built-in one. The built-in one isn't bad, but this one is better. So I just bought a new tripod. It's very fancy. It's fancier than all the stuff I'll probably need, but I've gone through a couple tripods where they break pretty quickly, pretty easily, so I invested a little bit of money and got more of a professional one. It's a Vanguard. It's got a telescoping thing that goes up, and you can actually even move it sideways. It can lay flat and the thing can move sideways, so if you want to shoot stuff from the ground. So it's got a lot of moving parts. One time when I was off grid, I actually did read the user manual. It can do some really cool stuff. It's heavy. It's not something you want to travel with, but it's a good tripod, and it's just got the twist legs, which have been really nice, a lot easier to position. And, you know, like I said, a lot goes on behind the scenes before I ever turn on the camera, and one of them is getting the right angle on the tripod and the right position and the right light. And speaking of the right light, I'm actually using today my screen for when I'm filming inside, because I like to sit here mostly for my as I see it videos, and the light can be really bad. a reflector screen. That's what it's called. Right now I'm reflecting the light from outside over here so that you can see me better. So it's just less work to do in editing, and trying to lighten things up in editing can be a challenge. They don't always look crisp and clear and good. You're washing everything out. So I recently just bought this for a green screen. Sometimes it's nice just, like I've said before, I don't always plan all my videos. I just kind of go about my life, and I'm getting better this year to make my editing life easier. I'm getting better this year at saying, okay, I'm going to shoot today. I'm going to shoot whatever I'm doing today. I'm going to go sightseeing and I'm going to shoot that. But not always. And sometimes after the fact, I wish I had said this, or I wish, I had done that. And so so I use the green screen to kind of fill in the gaps sometimes. Or I just used it yesterday for the first time. This. And it's just a big cloth. It's like 6 by 5 or something. No, bigger than that. It's a pretty big cloth, and it just means in editing that I can just cut out my background so that you just have the image of me on whatever background I want to put myself on. And I've played around with green screens over the years. Green screens and masking and all kinds of fancy stuff, but this works better than anything I have ever done before. You almost can't tell it's a green screen. Almost. It's really hard to green screen with my level of knowledge and equipment, but this is pretty good. If you want a green screen, it's cloth, it's easy to store, it's really, really cool. Now let's talk about my computers. So this is an Alienware 15R3 with an Intel i7 processor and a 64-bit operating system. I bought it. It was a floor model at Costco, like probably about 4.5 years ago. So I got it cheap. It was like $1,000. I think it was like a $2,000 computer. And it's been great, but it's starting to wear out. And it's heavy and it's slow. For the amount of editing I do, I'm putting sometimes 5, 6, 7 gigs worth of footage into a timeline in my editing software to be able to edit. And so I need fast processing that's going to be able to handle all that. And this isn't keeping up anymore. It's crashing. I'm having to shut it down. And I'm getting a weird purple blippy thing on my screen. So I'll be sitting here working or watching TV and the screen will turn all purple on the bottom and flicker. And I have to reboot it to make it to reset it. And I was thinking it was just a matter of time before this broke. And so when a friend of mine found out that I needed a new computer, he recommended the Apple Macbook. I've never used an Apple before. I've always been Android and PC. But he said that the Apple new M1 chip was beyond superior to any other computer operating system out there, and that it would probably be the best for my editing, for speeding things up. So I got a MacBook. Here we go. I got a MacBook Pro. I don't like it because it's so small. The 16-inch doesn't have the M1 chip yet. Oh, look at that. And it's taken me, I've had it for several months. I've been slowly transferring things over, and I just edited my first video on the MacBook yesterday. So my editing software is Power Director, Cyberlink Power Director. I've been using it pretty much since the PCT. I had downloaded a free version on my phone, and I'd been using that because sometimes I like to just do quick edits, especially for like Instagram on my phone, or for patrons. Sometimes I'll just do patrons because I don't have to do a lot of the bells and whistles. I don't necessarily have to do a watermark and stuff like that. So I would just edit on my phone. And then I thought I was using the free version on my phone, but I just realized recently I upgraded to the paid version so that I could edit videos on the Pacific Crest Trail. So while I was hiking, I was making videos and I was editing videos, and I was doing all of that on my cell phone using the Cyberlink Power Director phone version. When I got off the trail, I had been having problems with, I was using Corel Video Studio before, and it just got buggier and buggier. I was having so many problems with it that I decided to switch to Cyberlink Power Director. So that's what I'm using now, Power Director 19, and it's been great. It's intuitive, it's user friendly, It's got a lot of bells and whistles, a lot of different effects and things that you can use, and so I'm really, really happy with it. Yesterday, so I had to buy the Mac version to use on the Mac. So I'm running two versions right now, two paid versions. I had to pay for the one on my PC and now the one on my Mac. And it's a little bit of a learning curve. It's not exactly the same. And with my first experience of editing videos on here, there were some bugs. Hopefully I'll get those worked out. And I know that Macintosh has a really good video editing built right in, and maybe someday I will try that, but every time you learn a new video editor, it takes time. And I spend enough time setting up, shooting, making videos, editing videos that that's not a time investment I want to make right now, but I'll continue to use my Power Director, especially because it's paid up for a year, and then maybe then I'll decide to go to iMovie or whatever it is. So this is what I'm using right now. Well, kind of both. I'm still in the process of transitioning, but these are my two computers right now for editing, the Alienware and the MacBook Pro. Finally, let's talk about music and stock images and stock video. So you guys love the music I put to my videos. That's one of the most fun parts about making videos. Sometimes it can be frustrating, literally like taking an hour to find the right song, and I just can't find the right song. And so sometimes I'll end up going down a rabbit hole just of music. But it really is the fun part of finding the right song and then making the video fit that song, you know, with the graphics and the effects and things like that. So it's a lot of fun. I've been using Artlist for over a year, and they've been great, but they're a little too like cinematographic or something. I'm struggling more and more with finding the right music, especially because I want to keep the music fresh. I don't want to keep using the same songs. So I recently signed up for Envato. So I currently have 2 paid music subscriptions that I can buy the copyright to, so that I can use without getting copyright strikes. So that's the other thing some of you may not know. I can't just go using any music or I get penalized. I have to buy music, and I have to buy a license to use that music. So I use Artlist, and right now I'm using Envato. Both of them also have special effects graphics I can buy, sound effects, which are really helpful for filling in. Sometimes I don't have the right nature sound, so I can buy a sound effect for birds and things like that and try to mimic what might be out there. Sometimes it's deadly quiet, and that makes for boring video. Trust me, it does. So they have sound effects that I can use. They have short stingers and transition music. They have full songs that you can buy. They also have graphics. So if I need a stock image, if I'm doing a video like this and talking heads can get boring if it's just me and I want to put some visually interesting things up here, I can buy stock images from either one of those, or stock video. And sometimes you'll see, I'll buy stock video just to kind of add visual interest to my videos to keep you guys watching. I've also had a subscription to Big Stock Photos since my days as a marketing consultant, and that's another source where you can buy images and videos. If you can't, find what you're looking for that's copyright free to use commercially, then and if you don't know, it's better to err on the side of safety and doing the right thing and buying images. So you can go to Big Stock Photos and you buy images that you need for one use or unlimited use. And so Artlist, Envato, and Big Stock Photos are where I get all of my creative music and sound effects and images and videos and all of those other things. So that's it. I think I have covered all of my video gear, except every little accessory that I have, which are many. But that's it. That's everything that goes into making a YouTube channel. It's a lot, right? You guys probably didn't know how much goes into making a successful interesting. Hopefully you guys keep coming back and watching YouTube channel. And it's a lot of work. I'm self-taught. I had one lesson in the beginning, basics of video editing, cutting and splicing, and everything else I have learned either by watching videos or taking chances and being self-taught and saying, what would happen if I did this? And it's been a lot of fun. I love the creative element of making videos. All of this and having to set up and the attention to detail and making sure the batteries are charged and the sound is right. That stuff I'd pay somebody to do if I could, but I can't. And but yeah, that's my life as a YouTube creator. I hope that was interesting. I will see you next time. In the meantime, be happy, be free, and be kind. Mwah.